day after day, your son crashes into extreme meltdowns. You're trying everything and it's just not working. You feel misunderstood by those around you. But after today, all of that can change. In this very first episode, I am going to let you in on 2 things that you can let go of forever so you can experience a breakthrough with your son. If you're tired of feeling helpless during your son's meltdowns and isolated by the stress it brings to your family, and you want simple steps to open communication, reduce outbursts, and bring more peace to your home, you're in the right place. Hey, I'm Cynthia, wife and boy mom. I remember having a child who looked typical, but spent hours falling apart at home. I learned how to stay confident during the stress of meltdowns and build connection without resorting to heavy-handed parenting. If you're ready to reduce the meltdowns and aggressive behavior and finally see that what you're doing is actually helping, then grab my hand. I am the mom you've been waiting to meet. Welcome to My Son is Having a Hard Time. I am Cynthia Fair and I'm very glad you're here. I know what it's like to feel exhausted by my son's unpredictable and explosive behaviors. A small transition could turn into a 3-hour meltdown. You know the drill. They collapse into a heap of refusal or turn on you in a fury of kicking, hitting, screaming, spitting, and biting. With each day comes increased isolation, guilt, and fear of what the years ahead will bring if this continues. After a long decade of feeling helpless, utterly exhausted, and stuck at home because of his refusal to go much of anywhere, I began to untangle the huge mess of overwhelm of his explosive behaviors and my reactions. One day I was walking down the hallway in our home, and there was a turning on the inside of me. I felt like I hit a wall. I was going after him into his room to deal with the meltdown that had just happened, and I was stopped. And some things rose up in me, and I was like, this cannot go on any longer. Something needs to change. I didn't even know exactly what at the time. I just needed something different. I knew that he needed something different as well. And that's when finally, after about 10 years, breakthrough came. Today I want to share with you 2 things that I learned over that time that you need to let go of. Number 1, mainstream parenting. Perhaps you have accumulated a collection of articles, books, even people's advice that you've kind of tucked away, and it rises up in those moments in you. It's like, oh, this is what I should be doing. This is what I should be using. And I want to tell you that today is the day to let go. Give away, throw away, and very possibly even burn all of that. Even if it's just figuratively. When I did that and made the decision to say, as for me and my house, this is what we're doing. Not that. We're leaving that. That belongs to somebody else. This is what we're doing. We made a decision, and like Steve Backlund says, make a decision and attach faith to it. Number 2, what you are imagining that others are thinking. You need to let go of what you are imagining others are thinking, because it fuels your insecurity as a mother. It reminds you of all that you already feel you are not. I wrote something down in my journal many years ago that I want to share today as well. And it didn't even fully make sense to me at the time, but it rose up so quickly, and I went back to it actually not that long ago, and I was like, oh my goodness, this is so good even for right now. And that is, what others think about you is none of your business. What others think about you is none of your business. Letting go of these 2 things will transform your relationship with your son. Directly, indirectly, because in those moments, your mind isn't so busy thinking about all of these things, of what you should be doing. I have a friend actually that says should is another swear word. And I was like, oh yeah, I love that, because we should on ourselves all the time. But the release that came when I took these things in hand and said, you will no longer rule my mind, my spirit, my body. The key to letting go of things is not to leave that space empty. We need to actually replace those two things that you have let go of with two things that you need to start believing. This is very important. Number one, that what looks impossible can indeed be possible. I never could have imagined way back in the day, 10 plus years ago, that the relationship that we have now, and especially me as a mom have now with my son, I could only have dreamed of that. I had such fear of what would come. And now seeing what we have, even if I look at the things of what we just let go of in order to have what we have now, it's amazing, really, really amazing to me. So I know that right now you're looking at things and imagining that it's just not possible. It's not possible. There's so many hard days that I can't even imagine that it could be different. Right now where you're at, it may seem as though, how could I even think that we could go from a 3-hour meltdown down to a 30-minute meltdown? The second thing that you need to start believing is that you have everything inside of you to courageously raise your son. I sat with a speech therapist at a school many years ago, and she let me sit and tell her the story of me and my son. I felt so seen, so heard, and just known. And after all of that, she looked at me and she said, "Cynthia, in the 25 years that I've been doing this, I feel like I learned more sitting here, listening to you talk about the relationship that you have with your son." And the conversation went to encouraging me that I know him better than anyone. And I'm not saying that every interaction with your therapist or educators or specialists ends up that way, because it certainly doesn't. But in that moment, it gave me such encouragement that I do know him. I am there 24/7. I'm there when he wakes up, after he goes to sleep, and usually before he wakes up again in the morning. You know the ins and outs. You know his little, quirks, all the things that he gravitates towards. And you fiercely love him more than anyone ever. I think when we get caught up in thinking that it needs to look a certain way, especially based on, outside onlookers' opinions, even experts, it undermines the strength, the knowledge, and that fierceness that I talked about that comes when we birth our kids. And in the years after that, when we realize, okay, they have very specific needs in these areas. And that's where we go back to those outside voices that can sometimes stump us. We get stuck there, and it becomes a cycle around and around that I don't have what it takes. I don't have what it takes. Why can't I help him? Because our desire is there, but we get spinning. And so that's where I want to encourage you today in those two things of letting go. Kick that mainstream parenting stuff to the curb. And I'm not saying that there isn't some little nuggets that you can take from that, 100%. And we will look at that at future episodes. But when you can let go of what it should look like, or what other people are saying that it should look like, and you can let go of what others are thinking about you, and you can start believing that what looks impossible now could one day be possible, and you can believe that what you have on the inside of you, you have everything you need on the inside of you to raise courageously, bravely raise your son. then that gives you the hope and the light that you need looking forward into the future. Hey Mama, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If so, would you take 30 seconds and share it with a friend who may be on an uphill battle with her son's unique challenges? Also, please leave a quick review for the show on Apple Podcasts. It lights me up to know this podcast is helping you. All right, time to breathe and know that you have everything inside of you to courageously raise your brilliant son. I'll meet you back next week for another episode. Bye.